It's worth it. It's worth $70. What?
Yeah.
Just kidding. Hello and welcome to the Free Game Podcast. I wanted to welcome my co-host, Justin.
Hello, thank you.
Yeah,
I
of
wanted
course.
to welcome my dog, Valjean. He's here with us today. I think
He says thank you.
I think he'll be quiet because he's laying down. You took him on a rigorous walk.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So,
And it is brisk outside.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, dude. It's finally here.
Yeah.
It's been out since Friday. How many days is that? 5? Not that many. 5.
No. Really?
Well, yeah. But neither of us really played
Wow.
it till Friday
Evening.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you might have noticed, dear listener, that I didn't say your one-stop shop for all things budget gaming. Because this episode isn't really about budget
No,
gaming.
it's not. Once in a while, Holden and I like to splurge a little on games.
Yeah,
And
because we're saving so much money elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
that,
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe, well, one day we will be saving so much money elsewhere.
Yeah.
We haven't hit that point yet.
Yeah. We're just about, like, every other part of our life is the same.
Mm-hmm.
But we save money on games so that
Yes.
we can spend money on games.
On a $70 game
Yeah.
called The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
How excited were you for this?
Dude, it didn't feel real for a
Mhm.
long time. And I think that it's because, so quick, like, background. How much of the promotional content did you watch?
None. Only the Nintendo Direct.
So I watched one. I watched like if anybody out there, like, I won't spoil anything. This is going to be a pretty tame episode on the course of spoilers.
Yeah, if you haven't played it at all and you don't want to hear anything at all,
Then don't listen.
I don't think Holden or I really know. You might be able to spoil some stuff. I couldn't.
I could spoil some stuff,
but you aren't.
I won't. No. That's for later episodes down the line. But at that point, I'd hope that enough people have the game that it's not spoiling. It's more of just like a conversation between us.
Yeah.
I watched the like gameplay demo that I forget his name. Aonuma, I think is his name. Did where he kind of like showed off the mechanics of the game, and that was a little too far for me. Like, I felt a little bit spoiled.
Okay.
From that side of things.
I didn't want to know that much.
Yeah. And it would have been really, really cool to experience that stuff for the first time on my own. But I got to vicariously live through that. Oh,
sorry,
that's a long release of pressure he got there.
This guy, he was shook a little bit today.
Oh, was he? Well, I might.
Ooh, what you got there, man? That's kind of a mini can.
Yeah, it's kind of a small can. It's a Starry. What are you drinking? You're drinking a Pepsi, aren't you?
Good old Pepsi, dude. Red, white, and blue.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All reliable. This is
Walmart pushes that stuff on you, dude.
Really?
Like, when I opened the app to do a pickup order, that was the first thing it was showing me. It was like Starry. And it worked. I bought a 12-pack.
Did you know that Winco has their own soda now? Like Winco brand soda?
Really?
Like, not Sam's Club, not Shasta, Winco
I'm gonna
brand.
have to go get some of that.
Yeah, dude.
Winco's very regional.
Yeah. If you don't have a Winco where you live, I'm really sorry. Yeah. It's just a bomb. But anyway, yeah. Come on down to the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was so excited for this game. Like, since like. I mean, I started playing Breath of the Wild the year it came out. I was 15 or 16 when that came out.
Uh-oh.
That just dated me.
Yeah.
Dang it! I did it. I did it. Well, I said 15 or 16.
Yeah, the same window exists.
Yeah. From now on, anytime that I date myself, I'll just give myself a 1 year gap. When that came out, my brother, I didn't have a Switch, I didn't have the game, and so he was moved out at that time, so I would like go over to his house, spend the night, and just play it like handheld, really? Like till the wee hours of the morning. Wow. And then during the day he would play it and I would watch, and then I would catch up to him slowly, and it was such a fun experience. And then that Christmas I got the game, and so but like ever since I beat that game, it was like, when's part 2 coming out? Like, when is the next Zelda game coming out?
So how long was it where you were just playing like so much? Was it a year? Was it?
It was probably about a year and a half.
Okay.
Around that era.
Before you kind of moved on a little.
Yeah.
How long? It's been like what, 5 years?
Yeah. 5 years.
5, 6 years.
Yeah.
window.
Yeah, give yourself a little window there. I mean, people could look it up.
Yeah.
But
and we probably said it on the other episode.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah. It's fine.
Dang, dude.
Yeah. So this game has been so long awaited by so many for the gaming community. That's basically it. But there's there's a lot of different people within the gaming community that have been just really looking forward to this game, and it so far lives up to the hype.
Really?
100%.
I thought you didn't feel that way, actually.
I have one problem with the game.
Okay.
But I can't talk about it on this episode because it's a little spoilery, so we can talk about it later on.
Yeah.
But what I'll say is that it has nothing to do with the mechanics of the game.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with the feel of the game. It has nothing to do with like how fun the game is or anything like that. Like it is a solid game. Definitely I think that it's worth the $70. I was going to say 60.
Yeah. No, some misleading. I was talking to our supervisor, our coworker Donnie.
Yeah.
Oof. Sorry, Donnie.
Soon to be.
Anyway.
Whatever.
So, and I was telling him, I was like, I borrowed all of my Breath of the Wild playtime was borrowing the game from you.
You were playing on borrowed time.
So buying this game for $70 was basically. That's basically my price for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, kind of. It's like you spent $35 on both of them.
Yeah, so I can't complain.
Yeah, really. No, not at all.
Anyway, so what we're gonna do is, I think we'll just.
You have some notes.
I have a lot of notes. I want to talk about the opening cutscene.
Okay.
Do you remember it?
Yeah, and I have some speculation. About it.
Really?
Just a little bit. It's not that big to
speculate.
Yeah,
because that's not a spoiler.
No. Oh, yeah.
Do you remember in the direct episode when we watched the release trailer or whatever? You made some predictions, and I don't remember what they were. I should have checked. But do you remember if any of them? I guess we don't know yet if they came true or not because neither of us are that far into the story.
How about this week we listen to the Nintendo Direct episode
before we record another Tuesday,
and we'll write them down. We'll write down all my predictions about how the game is going to be, and then we'll see how close I am.
Yeah. I'll just say this now since we mentioned it a couple times. Our plan is, we've almost every month since we changed to our focus to budget gaming, we've released free game chats. Our plan is to kind of switch off between those and paid game chats. Yeah. Because we're still going to buy paid games, obviously.
Or just talk about paid games that we already own.
Yeah. So we're planning on doing another Tears of the Kingdom episode in about a month and a half. So end of June. Yeah. With Sarah. We wanted Sarah to be on today. Yeah. She's not feeling up for it. Yeah. Kind of low on energy. Yeah. Which I get, dude. Yeah. But also, hopefully she's home playing Tears of the Kingdom.
I honestly think that she might be. Yeah, so, she just takes the time to. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. She was excited to do it, but things just didn't work out, logistically and I guess energetically.
We'll get her on for that next episode.
For sure.
And I mean, she was more excited about this game than
both of us.
Both of us combined, probably.
Probably, yeah.
Because she just loves it.
There's one thing before I was talking to her about it earlier in the week, and we were kind of talking about the guidelines of what this episode was going to be, and there's one thing that you haven't discovered yet. I'm pretty sure, and she has, and I have, and we've been talking about it a lot, and it's really, really impactful to how the game is. Okay. And I was like, I don't know if I want to talk about that in the first episode. Yeah. And she was like, I can't talk about my favorite part of this entire game yet. So that's really exciting for you though, because you haven't even got there yet. You probably will get there tonight if you play tonight. So that's super exciting for you. Yeah, I'm stoked for you.
All right, dude. I think part of the reason I feel like you and I weren't as excited for this as we normally would have been because we didn't really let ourselves think about it.
Yeah, same.
Because the suspense and the anxiety,
it would have killed me.
It just doesn't. It sucks. But we also just kept ourselves busy with other games, and the podcasts and stuff and work, which is it's a good idea.
Oh yeah, and the podcast has been such a good thing for stuff like that. Like when you
Oh yeah.
when you're anticipating something, it's like,
You're just twiddling your
yeah, but
thumbs.
I still gotta, play
Yeah.
Dauntless. We gotta get the Dauntless episode out, which is recorded and will be coming out soon.
Yep.
So that's really exciting. Um, but yeah, like this, I don't know how I, I don't know how I got through it. So like, I mean, it was pretty easy. And like Sarah is like a huge, 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 huge. I mean, we've said this before and we'll say it again. She's a huge Breath of the Wild fan, right?
Mhm.
And so the day that we got it, we said this on the last Breath of the Wild episode. We were talking about how I was gonna wait until she got home from work to play
Mhm.
it. That's when it was really tough.
Oh, I
Was
bet
that
that
wait
Friday.
because it was just there,
Yeah.
like on
Oh,
my
dude.
Switch.
That's almost worse than like how I had it
Yeah, and I
because it was
was,
sitting there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I just played through Link's Awakening. I didn't like beat it or anything, but I was just playing that,
Mhm.
and it got me through. Link's Awakening has always been there for me
Keeping
when I
just
when I
keeping your
needed it.
mind occupied.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
And
you
you,
had a
you got a
different,
haircut.
yeah, I did get a haircut, but you had a different situation.
Yeah, so for some reason I will never do this again. For some reason I ordered
And
with
we
the
told you. We literally told you.
I know,
Remember Donnie and I, we were
I
like,
didn't listen.
uh
Yeah, yeah,
oh.
yeah. I don't know if I could have changed it by then. Of
Mm-mm.
course I could have. I probably could have, right? It
Really?
was 2 months in advance.
Who was it with?
GameStop.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you definitely could. It
Yeah.
wasn't Amazon.
No. So I ordered the delivery and dude, I was up at like 7 a.m. Friday morning.
At
I
the
walked,
mailbox.
dude, it was a day I walked Valjean down to Maverick, got myself a
Uh-huh.
Maverick burrito, which I love. I got a little treat for myself, a drink. Like I
Uh-huh.
was ready for the day.
Yeah.
I was gonna spend all day playing Tears of the Kingdom. And then I kept refreshing the freaking GameStop thing to see
Oh.
if it would update because it just said like the product availability.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then their system went down, and they had never
Probably
given me.
because so many
Oh
people
yeah,
are waiting on there. Yeah.
and they had never given me a tracking number.
Why?
I don't know. It said like, here's the order number, here's the tracking number, and it was blank. So I couldn't even use
Like
that
you
because
couldn't.
that's what they were telling me to do.
Yeah, it
They were
was
like,
track
we'll
it with
just use the
UPS.
tracking number.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I ended up. It was fine because I was helping Malin. We did a Mother's Day celebration that night,
Okay.
so we were preparing for it all day. And then right when we were leaving, I checked the mailbox one last time and it was in there.
Oh,
So I
nice.
went and we were gone for like 5 hours. I came back, it was like 9:30, and I finally was able to play for an hour.
Uh-huh.
But I was too tired after
Yeah.
that because I'd been up all day.
Yeah, doing a
Dude,
bunch of stuff.
I was so like mad because I was sitting there all day, like
Yeah.
literally right here by the window, looking out the window like a little like cat in the hat, dude. Just waiting for it, dude.
Yeah.
And then I was able to keep myself busy
I can
later,
just
but
imagine
like,
you like with your elbows on the windowsill
yeah,
and your hand
just
in
sighing.
in your palms. It's,
Yeah.
oh, that's
Watching
so
other
awesome.
kids play it across the
Like they're outside with their TVs and their
Yeah,
Switches
just
playing on the side of the road.
for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it it wasn't that bad in retrospect.
Yeah, no.
But I was so mad on it. I was like, I might not get this till Tuesday.
Yeah, you told me. You were like, and I could tell like in your texting, like you were trying to make it a funny situation, but it was definitely not funny
Yeah,
at all.
I was not having
You
a
were
good
very
time.
upset.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, like you were just so like laconic. You were so terse with it. You were like 2 to 3 business days, I guess. So
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So yeah, when I told Sarah that, I was like, yeah, dude, Justin like hasn't got it yet. She was like, no. She felt so bad. But but yeah. So how about we really, get our forks and knives out
Mm-hmm.
and just dig into this hot, nasty
Okay.
plate of delicious
Mhm.
tears
Delicious
of
Legend
the
of Zelda.
kingdom.
So you start the game,
Correct.
opening cutscene.
Mm-hmm.
You're descending deeper into the halls beneath Hyrule Castle.
Yeah.
With Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
Your Link with all his garb. You've got the Master Sword on her back. Zelda's got a Pura tablet. What do they call it?
Pura pad?
Pad. Yeah, on her waist. And one of the things I noticed, which I actually usually don't notice in a game, is the soundscape.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
And then it just so subtly was getting a little more creepy and eerie as you were descending.
Intense.
Also, Zelda could walk a little quicker.
Yeah, dude, that was really bothering me.
I was like, just relax,
Yeah.
enjoy it. But it was like 9 on Friday night, and
Yeah.
I had this whole day. Anyway,
So Sarah was playing on our. So we have like one TV, like our TV, and then we have like a little monitor on off to the side. And so I was playing on that one, the monitor one, and I had like headphones on, so that we could both like individually experience it. Yeah. And I had to like turn down the volume a couple times on mine because it was like too intense.
Oh yeah,
because like
dude.
the walking was fine because it had like this really nice echoey like cave sounds.
Yeah.
It was really nice, but then like as she's talking about this war, let's say like historic war, the music just starts picking up and getting like more and more intense. And I don't know why, but like that sort of like sound like really like freaks me out. Like if something just like slowly starts getting more and more and more intense,
it's
like
panic
I can't handle it. Yeah, like when I was a kid, the VHX, like
oh yeah, dude.
like that used to scare the
me
crap
too, man.
out of me. I don't know why.
Hated it.
Oh, dude,
I loved it.
Oh.
Yeah, I get that, man.
Yeah.
That thing used to freak me out too. Yeah. So loud.
I know,
for
dude.
No reason.
I don't know. What even is that? What is VHX?
It's just probably the audio, the company that I don't know.
That's one of the worst ways to show off your audio too. It's just like, look, we can be quiet and loud, and everywhere in between.
Yeah, I got it confused with the Dolby surround sound, where it's like, oh. You remember that?
Yeah, dude, at the movie theater. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway. So, you find like the mural or whatever, right? Zelda's telling you the story of the Zonai.
Yeah, Zonai.
And then she's like, all right, well, let's keep descending.
Yeah.
And the whole time you're going down, there's like these red mists, and it just looks kind of like the Malice from Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, but this time it's called Gloom.
Yeah, it's called Gloom.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's kind of dissipated down here, like it won't get us sick.
Yeah.
You learn later that you can come across gloom and it will hurt you.
Yeah.
And it makes people sick.
Yeah.
The residents of Hyrule Kingdom.
Yep.
But it starts to get more dense. And do you remember how creepy it is when it's like rising out of the ground? Yeah. It looks like arms.
Yeah, dude.
So creepy. And then it just gets like more and more dense and it's like waving everywhere. And then you turn the corner and there's a mummy.
Yeah.
Is it Ganon?
It looks like Ganon.
Because I didn't know if it was Ganon or like the Demon King that the murals were referring to.
The Demon Kings of the mural we're referring to, I'm pretty sure, are Ganondorf.
I thought so, but
like he's got the red hair. He looks like like a Gerudo, and because he is one, and like I don't think that the Zelda Nintendo team would introduce a new villain that looks exactly like Ganon.
I think I was confused because
he's been called the Demon King before as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was confused because on the mural there showed something that looked like Ganon taking something from Zelda. But then it was like, it almost seemed like that was separate from the whole Demon King that was going on. Which, I mean, I'm not like a diehard Zelda fan, so I don't know all the lore.
Yeah.
I guess people would probably be kind of mad if there was like a bigger, badder boss above Ganon.
I think so.
Thing. So it probably is Ganon, but it was, dude, terrifying.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude, his voice is like all raspy and
and his head like churns. And,
yeah, and he's no joke, man. And like he's this, so he's this mummy, and he's kind of like bent back, right?
Yeah, like he's like Exorcist style floating.
Like his feet are on the ground, but he's like parallel to the ground as well. So he's like back like that, and there's this disembodied arm that's grabbing his chest.
It's like glowing blue.
Yeah, this glowing blue arm, which is like, such a juxtaposition to the dark, gloomy reds and greens and browns of this area. And it's just like holding onto his chest. And as soon as Link shows up, something about Link, something about Zelda, like disturbs this whole balance that's going on down here. And Zelda talks about how she's like, my father never wanted us to come down here. It was always forbidden to talk about it. And blah, 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 blah. Um, and so, real
Yeah,
smart of them
yeah,
to
yeah,
just pop down there,
yeah, yeah.
I know he always said never to come down here and blah, 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 but you know what? I'm
You know
sure
what?
it's fine.
Today's the day.
Yeah. She's like, I've had it.
Yeah.
Let's go. And Link's just like,
Yeah, just fine. Just she's like, oh, okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we'll keep going
Yeah,
then.
talker. All
He's
right.
like, I'd rather just go ride horses, but
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Um, so so they go down there. It disturbs this arm, like kind of like flies away, right?
Mhm.
And then the Demon King mummy. I'm
Mhm.
guessing that's who it is. I don't actually know, but like
Right.
it's pretty obvious. He looks the same, and he's got these pointy teeth, and he's
These
he
yellow beady little eye
yeah
things.
yeah, and you can tell that like the arm was kind of holding him up, and then he like falls back a little bit,
Yeah.
and then his neck like cracks, and then
Uh-huh.
it cracks toward you, and his eyes start glowing,
Yeah.
and he's being
Awesome.
all mean,
Mhm.
and then all this goop starts flying out of him and starts coming towards Zelda.
There's one thing before that. There's a tear. It looks like there's like a glass
Oh
tear shape.
yeah,
I don't know if it comes out of the hand or or off the mummy, but it bounces towards
it's
Zelda.
off the
She picks it
hand.
up,
It's off the hand.
and
That's what's
that's what like
starts him
yeah.
up.
And I don't know what that tear is. The
Neither do
game's
I.
called Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
I assume we'll learn.
Yeah.
But I don't know yet.
Yeah, so this tear, Zelda picks it. This tear. It's like this yellow stone in the shape of a tear.
Yeah, it's like white until she grabs it, then it like glows yellow.
Yeah, yeah. It's really pretty. I want one.
Oh yeah.
But
just completely irrelevant.
yeah.
We're like, yeah, I'd buy one. Yeah, probably spend $8 on
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I think I'll just get one sometime soon if I save up for it,
Mhm.
But anyway, so then this goop starts flying towards Zelda. It's gonna attack her.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, right? What are you gonna do?
Uh-huh.
So then you get in the way. And you like deflect it with your Master Sword,
Mhm.
and the Master Sword breaks.
Yeah, it like wraps around it and comes up Link's arm.
Yeah, yeah. So it breaks the Master Sword. The Master Sword cuts the guy's cheek, the Demon
Mhm.
King's cheek, and he's like, "Is this the sword that steals the darkness?" Blah
Yeah.
blah 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 blah.
He's like, you'll need a lot more power to strike me down.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's actually interesting the way that they did it, because like this is a direct continuation from Breath of the Wild into this game.
Mhm.
And I didn't think it was going to be, but it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Sarah and I argued about this for a while, because
Mhm.
even during my playthrough of the game, I was like, no, dude, I still think it's a different world. I don't know why, but I just think it's a different world. It's not a different world. It's the same world. She was right.
Uh-huh.
So,
how quickly did you realize it was
it took me a while.
really?
Yeah, I don't know why
Even
it took
once
me
you
so long.
got off the Sky Island?
Oh yeah. Well, I knew that it was the same. So, like in Majora's Mask
Mhm.
and Ocarina of Time, like they used a lot of the same assets and a lot of the
Mhm.
same character models and a lot of the same locations, but it's
Oh.
like a different timeline
Yeah,
or something.
okay.
That's more of like a dream state.
Okay.
So I didn't really know how they were going to do it this one. This one's just a direct sequel. Sorry, Sarah, for arguing with you about that. So
That's kind of unique for Zelda too.
yeah,
Right?
they normally don't
really
do direct sequels
yeah.
like that. But especially with like the same graphics and everything.
Mhm.
So but boy am I glad that they did, because
Mhm.
it's just going to be great. But so you have all of your hearts, right, from the last game.
Yeah, and full stamina wheel.
Yeah. And then it all gets taken away from you because this gloopy stuff, this
Mhm.
gloomy goop goes
It's
up your
kind of
arm.
gloomy or gloopy.
It's a
like,
little bit goopy, and
it's like thick and gloopy.
yeah.
And it's really gloomy.
How would you describe it?
Malice.
Yeah, that's how I would describe it too. Perfectly said. This like malice goes up your arm and like steals all of your hearts except for 3 of them,
Weird
conveniently,
coincidence. Yeah.
and takes your stamina wheel all the way down. So you start as you did in Breath of the Wild, because you're weakened, right? You're in a weakened state.
Yeah.
And then Zelda falls down a pit. She
Yep.
like falls backwards and like disappears into the pit, but
Mhm.
like not in darkness. Like she has like this, she like kind of like fades away from this burst of light.
Yeah.
And then the Demon King falls all the way down.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you not remember that?
No.
Yeah, he's like there, and then he falls into the hole.
Because he does
oh yeah, there's also another thing. Tell
he
them that.
blasts there's like a stalagmite or stalactite. Do you know which one it is?
Stalag.
Might.
We're gonna go with
know.
that.
And he like blasts it with malice, with gloom, and it lifts the whole Hyrule Castle up into the air. And I think that's when Zelda falls, and Link dives after her.
Yeah.
Tries to grab her hand. Misses. The other hand that was holding the Demon King down.
The light blue, beautiful hand.
Yeah, the pretty one. Grabs Link's ankle, pulls him up.
Yeah.
I don't remember what happened to the Demon King. So he falls too
deep. He like falls down. And I have a theory about that, but I actually realized that I can't talk about it because of the thing that you don't know yet. But yeah, so then that's kind of like it like fades to black. And it's like, you know, actually at the beginning it's like Nintendo presents Tears of the Kingdom, blah blah. That was so sick. But anyway, that's the setup.
Right.
For this whole story.
First introduction to the game.
Yeah. And then you wake up.
Yep.
And you're in a cave. And in this cave, you know, you're kind of learning how to move around, right? And this voice starts talking to you.
Not Zelda.
Not Zelda. It's a man. And he sounds great.
Deep, handsome voice.
Yeah. Not much unlike yourself, Justin.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. And he is talking to you, and I don't know if he tells you then, but it's this guy named Rauru. It's this goat, Billy Goat Gruff looking.
Oh, they are kind of goaty.
Huh? Yeah. And he's a Zonai, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm guessing.
He looks just like the depictions of the Zonai.
And he's like the first king of Hyrule.
Yeah, you meet him pretty quick. Like his spirit or whatever.
And he's a ghost. And you notice that his right arm is like
really faded.
And that's your arm. You wake up and you have his arm.
The light blue arm is now yours.
Yeah, because you used to have a
pattern going into your chest, like it was fused on
there. He's got like sick tribal tats on his right pec.
He's grown up.
Yep, just like The Rock. And his arm used to be all like red and goopy looking, and now it's like blue and crazy looking.
Yeah, it's got technology on it.
Yeah, it's like he's got like this ultra hand.
Like
and and yeah, it's got all this technology on it. It's got like rings on each of his fingers, and it's just really cool. And the guy's like, I saved you with my right arm so that you could not die. And then you don't die. And so then you wake up and you see your Master Sword, but it's all broken. Uh-oh. That's probably going to be something you're going to have to do with later.
Oops.
You're probably going to have to do some sort of like time manipulation thing with that at the end of the Sky Island. I don't know. Anyway, so then you take the Master Sword, right? And you start going through the cave. And then you exit the cave, and you've been on a Sky Island this whole time. In a cave on the Sky Island.
Yeah, you woke up in a cave on the Sky Island.
Yeah.
And
that's wild.
That's wild.
Yeah.
It's just this. It's like a group of islands, kind of, floating way above. Who knows what?
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to see down there. There's mists and stuff, whatever's below. One of the first things I noticed, dude, because it was nighttime in the game, sunset. Beautiful up there, dude. That's when I texted you. I was like, the sunset today, and you were like, oh yeah, did you look at it? I was like, I'm talking about Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
You didn't know I would.
Yeah, because you didn't say anything.
I didn't update anyone.
You just said that's sunset, huh?
Yeah.
And it was about the time that the sun would be setting here.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool.
Yeah. No, but in game it was gorgeous.
Oh yeah, there have been a couple times where I've like gone up there while the sun was setting, and I walk out of someplace and it's like red, just like this warm.
Sweet, dude.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And the Sky Islands have this very particular aesthetic that I'm really into. Sarah didn't like it as much, but I'm super into it. It's like really like bright colors.
Yeah, kind of yellow.
Yeah, but
yellow
like
grass.
A little bit washed out.
I
don't know how to describe it. Like Hyrule in Breath of the Wild is really like earthy.
Yeah.
Very, brown and green.
Yeah.
And, all that. But then up there it's like yellow and white and
the ruins are white.
Yeah. It still has that kind of like low contour sort of feel.
Okay.
That Breath of the Wild has. but it's just different colors, and it looks great. And it makes sense because it kind of feels like this ethereal sort of place, you know. And then you find out while you're walking around that there's a Temple of Time, and you try and go into the Temple of Time.
Rauru.
But
is that his name? Rauru.
Rauru.
He's like, hey, Zelda is in the Temple of Time.
Yeah.
You need to go say hi to her.
Yeah.
And then you can't.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
What surprise, happens? You're on the tutorial island.
Yep. You gotta find some shrines.
Yeah. Reminds me of another game. Anyway.
What game?
Oh, just being on the Great Plateau in Breath of the Wild.
Oh, with Breath of the Wild.
But also old school RuneScape.
Yeah, it's kind of like Breath of the
Wild. So he basically is like, oh, your arm must not have must have its power drained or something. He's like, you need to go to where there's pure light and recharge it.
Yeah.
Shrines.
Yeah.
You're going to shrines.
That's something that it's kind of like my same gripe that I have with the whole game, but this is just one piece of it. I was a little disappointed to find out that like it's kind of the same formula. Like find shrines, get spirit orbs, get 4 spirit orbs, and you get a heart or a stamina vessel. Like it's literally the same thing. But I'm cool with that because it's a great way.
It is, yeah.
You know, like
shrines are fun.
Yeah,
it drives you forward. You know, you keep searching for them.
Yeah, and you can like fast travel to them.
There's even Koroks and Korok seeds.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so there's this one part on the map, even on the Sky Island, where there's this Korok and he's like on this backpack. Did you get to that place?
Around,
he's like rolling around. He's like, I need to see my friend and all that stuff. And I met him, and I heard his little Korok sounds, the little and I met him and talked to him, and he was like, I miss my friend and blah blah blah. And I saw the other Korok, and I'm like, oh, Koroks are just like characters in this game. That's awesome. I hadn't found another Korok yet.
Okay.
So I was like, I guess they took out Korok seeds.
Yeah, you're like, oh, side quest.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. And then Sarah was talking about how she found a Korok seed. I was like, wait, Koroks are like in this game? And yeah, so that's actually a Korok seed mission where if you finish it, you get 2 Koroks for the price of 1, which is pretty cool.
There's that, those are like, I found more of them also off of Sky Island where I saw this meme where it was like, in Breath of the Wild, the Korok is like, pick up this rock, and you get a Korok seed, and in Tears of the Kingdom, it's like, build me an F-150.
Yeah.
So when I found one on Sky Island that needed to be joined with his buddy, there was like this rail going down to the island.
Did you do the hook?
I used Ultra Hand, which we can talk about in just a minute. Put him on the hook, put that on the rail, let him go.
Yeah.
But I never followed him, so he's still just dangling on that hook.
No way!
Dude. I was like, I gotta go over here, man. I was like, I hope you get to your buddy. He's like fused to the bottom of this hook, just dangling.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah, I forgot about that until the other
day. You like put him up. You're like, well, anyway, man. Yeah,
you're welcome.
Yeah. See you later, man.
I'm like, I guess they don't have Koroks.
Auf Wiedersehen. See you later, bud. That's awesome. But yeah, dude, Koroks are still fun. I don't know if there's going to be 999 Koroks. I don't know if there's going to be 120 shrines. That's something
are, I'll tell you right now, I'm planning on finding all of them, dude.
All the Koroks?
I want to try to 100% complete this game.
So, me too.
Okay.
Something that I want to do with this game, and like, when I first played through Breath of the Wild, I was like, I'm not going to look up anything. That was, I did a valiant try, right?
Yeah.
And I think that I might have the same sort of thing with Tears of the Kingdom, because sometimes Koroks can get pretty ridiculous. Because like there were times when I was playing through Breath of the Wild and I had 300 Koroks, and I would scour and scour and scour, and I just couldn't find them.
You were a third of the way there,
and so I started looking up like an interactive map, and it had a list of where all them were. It wouldn't tell you like how to solve them. It would just show you like the area that they're in.
So you still had to.
So something that I'm doing as I'm going through the game is every time that I find a Korok, I open my map and just put a little marker right there. Because then I know I found the Korok that's right here. Just in case I ever, want to go
if
through.
you ever go through a map
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
someone's already solved it. That's pretty smart.
But I plan on trying to find all of the shrines by myself.
Okay. And solve them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There were shrines in Breath of the Wild that I had to look up.
There was 2 shrines that I had to look up, and they're the Dueling Peaks shrines.
Oh, yeah.
Those ones I just didn't. I found them at different times.
Kind of thing. Oh, I see.
And so I don't know.
Yeah,
I just had a hard time putting the 2 together.
I don't think I looked those up. I think I knew they were there. So I think what I did, I did like type stuff out on my phone. Like I think it was remembering number sequences. So I wrote those down.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, there were shrines on Breath of the Wild I had to look up, and whenever I did, the answer was just not. It was like kind of obvious.
Yeah, and you kind of feel
bad. It was just a way that I hadn't looked at it.
Yeah.
But I like that because they are challenging most of the time. Well, sometimes.
Most of the time that there's something in Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom where I feel like super stumped, it's always because I'm forgetting about one of my abilities.
Yeah.
And so like I was super stumped at a shrine last night. I was I just couldn't figure it out, and then I was like, Ascend. Yeah, I can use Ascend, dude.
Ascend is the sneaky one, man.
It honestly, and that was how it was for me with Cryonis. Cryonis in the first one. That's the one where you make the ice pillars.
Oh,
I would always forget that you could do that. Unless it was like blaringly obvious. I would always forget. So there'd be like something up high, and I'm like, how? I can't get that, dude.
Yeah.
And so then you'd have to use a Cryonis thing to get up there. But I would have to like look it up, and they're like, just use Cryonis. It's like, oh my gosh, dude, I just forgot about that. Mad at yourself. Yeah. And so I've been like, as Sarah and I are playing, we keep telling each other, like, whenever we forget about Ascend, and then we remember, we look at each other and go, don't forget about Ascend.
Yeah, good.
Like, you can use it.
You have to drill it in your mind.
Yeah, dude. Because there's even like, spoiler alert, Taluses are back in this game.
Okay.
Stone Talus.
Oh yeah.
And you can get underneath them and use Ascend to get to the top of them to fight their thing.
Weak spot.
Yeah. And so I was trying to figure out how to kill this thing, and it was taking me forever. And then Sarah was doing it later. I gave up, ran away. Sarah was doing it later, and she was like, you can use Ascend on them. I'm like, Ascend! It's just the one that we've been forgetting about constantly.
I've seen a lot of memes that people are like, this whole game, like the gist of this game is like, I don't know if this will work, but I'm going to try it, and it works.
Yes.
Which is the fact that they created, I mean, it's like just Breath of the Wild abilities on drugs. Like, it's so much more complicated.
I heard somebody say that now that Tears of the Kingdom is out, Breath of the Wild feels like a tech demo for Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. This game opens up so many possibilities, and right when I think that I'm like, yeah, they've exhausted all their resources, there's nothing else that they could do with this game. They just keep surprising me.
It's awesome.
Like there's all of these little, like, the fans and like all that stuff.
What do they call
Zonai constructs?
Constructs or something.
There's all these like Zonai technologies. That's what I was going to say. And right when I'm like, okay, cool, I have a pretty good grasp on all 5 of these technologies, they introduce a new one. And I'm like, this changes everything. Literally everything about this game is different now. It's blowing me away.
Yeah, I barely scratched the surface. Like, it's too much for me to even think about right now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm still just trying to use, let's run through them real quick. Ultra Hand is where you can move items.
Yeah. You can just like pick up, move them around, and then you can stick them to each other.
That's the same one that attaches them. Yeah. So you can build, I mean, anything really.
Yeah. I mean, stuff that's movable. Yeah. Which is more than you'd think.
There's stuff everywhere on the map that you can pick up, build with.
Yeah.
Logs, you cut down trees, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I do remember, I think it was probably in the direct, it showed like a wild vehicle.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what it was. I didn't even think about it again. Yeah. But now I get it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that stuff gets pretty complicated with like the energy cells.
Yeah.
And whatever it's called when you can like keep one on your person and use it. Like you have to exchange.
Zonai charges.
Yeah, you have to like exchange these things.
Yeah.
I don't even fully understand it yet.
Oh yeah, dude,
so I just want to mention it.
Oh yeah.
But like that and the whole Ascend thing. I was in this cave system.
So what does Ascend do?
So if you're under anything, you can use Ascend, and it will like push Link up through it, and then you kind of poke out the top, and you can decide whether you want to get out or go back down.
Yeah.
Because there's no descent ability.
Yeah.
So once you go up, you have to climb and find your way back down.
Yeah.
Good old natural style.
Yeah.
I was going through this cave system. Every once in a while, I'd just pop up to the surface and see where it was, just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
And it helped me be more used to using Ascend a lot, like to have it on my mind.
Yeah.
So that's Ascend. That's Ultra Hand. Then there's Fuse.
Which is
crazy, dude.
It's amazing.
You know the first thing I did with Fuse? I fused a big boulder to my wooden shield.
Nice.
Because it was kind of trying to get you to fuse it to your weapon so you could break. There's these like rock walls that you can break through.
Yeah.
With a weapon.
Did you parry through them?
No, I just put it. I think I accidentally put it on my shield, and I was like, "Well, now I have a rock shield."
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if it's any stronger.
It's kind of stupid the things that you can do with that. Like I saw something, and I don't think that this is very like important at all. But you know how in Breath of the Wild there are boomerangs? Mm-hmm. There are boomerangs in this game too. Mm-hmm. And I don't. Have you seen the big rocks that fall from the sky yet?
That like fell.
Like fall? That fell, and then you can use them to kind of go back up. Have you seen that?
Oh no.
Well, it's not that big of a deal, but you can fuse to these giant rocks, like huge giant rocks, and you can fuse that to a boomerang and still use it as a boomerang. So you can throw it and it'll come back to you. Gosh. Like just crazy stuff like that
that I never think would work.
Yeah, and like there are these things called flame emitters. Did you see those?
I saw one, yeah. It's Zonite technology.
It's a Zonite technology, and it looks like a little tiger's head or something.
Like a dragon's head.
Yeah, like just like a little monster head. And you can put that on the end of your weapons too. And you can then have like a fire spitting weapon. Or you can put it on your shield, and then when you block, it shoots out fire.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Oh yeah, dude. There's so many possibilities with this that like there's one that I won't tell you about because I need you to experience it on your own. Okay. But it was the shrine, and I was just trying to figure something out, and I was like, I don't think this is gonna work. But I tried it, and it blew my mind. Like there was so many times playing through it where Sarah was probably so annoyed because I was being so not like candid because I had my headphones on and I was just going like, what? Oh what? Gosh. Like I was just, and she's like
still on Sky Island.
Yeah. Yeah, literally. I have a bit of a way of playing through games where I'm like, I want to get through it as fast as possible, and then I can take my time to digest everything. Like I'll go back. Right? Okay. Like when I'm ready. But the thing is that if I take my time to try and experience everything on that area, then it's like, well, then why would I ever go back there? And there's also this feeling of like, if there's something else that I could be doing that's just as fun as what I'm doing right now, then why would I waste my time getting anxious to do that thing when I can just go do that thing and come back here anyway? Sarah is not that way. She's very methodical.
Seems like you guys are the opposite extremes of that.
Yeah, definitely.
Sarah takes her time with everything.
Oh, yeah.
And you're just, like you said, going through, hitting the big stuff. You can come back later.
Yep.
And I think I'm leaning a little bit more towards like Sarah.
Like I think I'm just perfectly well balanced, right in the middle.
Right where you want to be.
Yeah.
But I there are things on Sky Island where I was like, I could do that, but I'll just come back later.
Yeah.
But then on the surface, I found a rabbit hole, a literal cave, and went down into it anyway.
Did you find the...
Don't say anything.
Okay. There's
Don't say anything because I'm going to tell you
okay,
my experience going through this, and then we can just talk about more stuff.
Okay. So there's Fuse, Ultra Hand, Ascend. Fuse is just, you can just fuse stuff to your weapons and...
Pretty much anything.
Anything. Yeah. And then there's and also with Fuse, something really, really important is that you can fuse stuff to the end of your arrows.
Oh yeah.
On bows and arrows, and there are crazy things that you can do. Like
when you draw an arrow, it teaches you how to select from the stuff you have in your backpack, and you can just put anything on.
You can put. They have tons of new plants in this game.
Yeah, bomb flowers,
and there are these things
fire fruit.
Yeah, fire fruit, which makes it so like there's no fire arrows in this game. There's no ice arrows in this game. There's just a bunch of items that you can put on the end of your arrows. And also, did you notice that you get way more arrows in this game than normal?
I love that.
Like they're pushing you to be like, try new things with your arrows, and I love it.
Me too.
There's one thing that I loved to see. Actually, I don't. Have you killed a Keese yet? Have you done the thing or no?
Oh, with the eyeball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
amazing. You can use a Keese's eyeball, put it on the end of your arrow, and it's a homing arrow to enemies. Just they thought
cool,
through
dude.
this so well.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if you know this, but Keese wings, if you put them on your arrows,
Uh-huh.
makes them really aerodynamic, and they shoot totally straight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you don't have to
Dude.
arc any of your shots.
That's smart.
It's amazing. So yeah, that's that. And then the last one, I actually don't remember what it's called, but you can reverse
Oh, it's like rewind or something?
rewind. So if something is moving, let's say that there's like a gear that's turning clockwise, and you want it to turn counterclockwise for whatever reason, because with its turning clockwise, it's closing a door, but you want the door to be opened. Well, how are you going to? What you can do is you can use rewind, select that gear, and make it turn the opposite direction. It's like it goes back in time.
Yeah.
And so like if an enemy pushes a boulder down at you on a hill and it's coming down at you, you can use rewind and make it go back and hit them on their way down. Like
Crazy,
stuff
dude.
like that, you know?
One of the wildest things I saw on the internet was this guy was trying to solve this shrine, and he just built this weird makeshift thing.
Yeah.
And he like tried to lift it up and carry it over to the place, but then it was too far for him to get, so he brought it back, and then he hit rewind, and it went back to where he had been carrying it. So he was able to jump on it, go back up there, use ascend to get to the top of it, and that's how we like crossed this huge gap.
Wow.
Crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Because it works.
Oh yeah.
These things you'd never think would work.
Yeah. Yeah. And like there were some times when I was playing through like this is just the way that it is. Like you said it, but like you're like, I don't know if this is gonna work, but let's see. Where like there was one way that I was supposed to do the puzzle. I'm sure that I didn't do it the right way. But I did it, and they're like, yeah, that works too.
Yeah.
It's like the way that all of us wanted math to be throughout our entire high school career.
Yeah,
it's like, I got the same answer. Why does it matter the way that I got there?
Show your work.
Yeah.
You're like, you don't really want me to show my work. Just be happy that I'm here.
You're gonna see a long list of websites if you ask me to show my work. But you know, it's you're not cheating. Because the game is like, yeah, that works.
Right.
Like there was one moment where I'm sure that I needed to use ascend, but I forgot about ascend. And so I just took a block, lifted it up, dropped it back down, got on it, and then used rewind, and it took me up, and then I jumped.
I wouldn't even think about that until I saw the video.
Yeah, it was just crazy. Just crazy stuff
sweet,
like that.
Dude.
It's blowing me away every day.
Yeah. The fact that it's just still functions as a game, and you can't just like you said, cheat your way out of it.
Yeah.
Like you can, but it's not, you know, like the whistle sprinting thing in Breath of the Wild.
It doesn't work in this one.
It doesn't work in this one. Well, I don't think I tried. But
I tried.
I didn't know how to do it on Breath of the Wild anyway. But like that, I saw it as kind of like, I'm not going to do that. That's not really supposed to be like that.
Oh, yeah.
But this game is supposed to be like, hey, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Do it however you want.
I was playing through it, and I remember audibly saying out loud, like, I don't know how they made this game. Like, I don't know how anybody makes any game, because I don't know how to make a game. But, like, this game in particular, it's not only, like, it's more of, like, I feel like no matter how long they explained it to me, I would never understand how they made this game. Like, I could never, ever do something like this. It's so good. It's so good. Anyway, keep going. All
right.
So we got that's all of your abilities out to Z-Way.
Yeah. I'm going to stop it.
Thing.
So, when you get down to the surface.
Because after you're done with all the shrines, it's like, all right, jump down.
Jump down.
Oh, no, there's one more thing. There's one more thing I need to mention. As you're walking toward the edge, there's like this ball of light talking to you. Like Ron in Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Okay.
When he's like, there was this little ball of light, and I heard it talking to me. It was your voice, Hermione. Do you remember that part?
No.
And then like Harry's like later on, Ron's like, you think Hermione's gonna be mad at me forever? And he's like, just keep talking about that little ball of light. It's so funny. Yeah, it's just stupid. But anyway, so this ball of light is sitting there, and then you go up to it, and your master sword is like making fee noises, which if you play Skyward Sword, you know. It starts making like master sword noises. And then you put the master sword into the ball of light, and you
Hold
hear
on.
the
Hold on.
rewind sounds. Did you notice that?
I think so.
Like everything goes gray, like it does during rewind,
Oh.
and it started going as it
Yeah.
started going backwards. It was like
Uh-huh.
spinning around, going backwards, and then
Uh-huh.
Zelda's there. So it's doing some sort of time
Oh,
manipulation. I don't know
yeah.
what's
Okay.
going on with that.
It's almost like she's on the other side of the ball. Like,
Yeah,
okay, I remember that now.
in like some
But then the Master Sword just disappears.
and your Link's like
Okay.
gypped. He's like, dude,
Because
that's
earlier
my
when you were
sword.
like, "There's probably something about the Master Sword in
Uh huh.
time later,"
Uh huh.
I was like, "Did I miss something?" Because
Yeah.
I was like, "If I haven't had the Master Sword this whole time and you can just reverse it, and I somehow missed that, then I'm gonna be mad."
No.
Okay,
That
good.
happens. And then it's like, all right, go ahead.
Yeah.
And then you jump off.
You jump off. You land in a lake, hopefully.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's no fall damage when you land in water. That's deep enough.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you're in Hyrule. Uh, I'll just say this: it's the same, as far as I can tell, it's the same map as Breath of the Wild. Just there's like ruins everywhere. There's stuff that fell from the
Yeah.
sky. There's like chasms, and
Yeah.
it's just altered a little bit.
Yeah,
But it's
it's
the
like
same basic thing.
But I've played a lot of hours of Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
And so has Sarah.
Okay.
We've collectively put like
hundreds.
Well, each of us has put hundreds in there, but collectively we put like 500, 600 hours, something like that in there. It's a crazy amount of time. And I'm walking around Hyrule and I'm like, unless it's like a big landmark, I don't recognize it. It looks totally different. I know that topographically it's the same.
I guess that's what I mean.
But like they're moving trees around. They're moving, I think that the roads are the same. But like there's big boulders where there used to be flatlands. There's like different weather phenomena going on in different areas. It's the most different.
Doesn't have any lava. You can see it from a distance.
It's the most different that they could have made it.
Right. That's
and
fair.
I
That's
really appreciate it because it feels new.
Yeah, it does feel new.
Yeah.
And it also feels familiar enough where it's like, okay, well, I kind of know my way around.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see what's different about the other places.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
sorry to interrupt so much.
Your first thing, you go to Pura, which she's this old woman baby from Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And now she looks
old
like
woman, young
woman now. And anyway, you talk about all this stuff. It's just the story. She tells you to go find Captain Hawes, which is like the captain of the whatever.
Uh-huh.
I'm skipping a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you are, but
I'm
it's
just
fine.
trying to get to my story.
Yeah.
You go talk to him, and he's at like the walls that were surrounding the castle, but now there's just surrounding this void, and the castle's like floating up.
Also, let me just say really fast, something that's kind of annoying about the game is that every time that you meet a new person,
oh yeah,
they're like, "Oh, Link, it's so good to see you, and it's good to know that you and Zelda are all right."
Yeah.
Zelda's not all right?
Yeah.
Every single one of them. Yeah. It's like, dude.
They're Link, you scared me.
I know that that's how it would make sense in this universe, but I don't need to hear it every time. You know? Also,
where's the skip button?
Yeah, and every single character, like, or almost all of them, you like walk up to them and you hit talk, and they're like talking to themselves, and then they're like, "Oh, I didn't see you there."
Yeah.
It's like, can we speed things up a little bit?
You're like, look, it's been 20 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you find Captain Hawes.
Yeah.
And you see Zelda. It's this cutscene. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, my story.
He's like, go report what just happened to Pura. And I'm like, dude, I just came from there, man.
Yeah.
That's not my job. Buddy.
Yeah.
I'm not going back. I'm at the castle.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I'm gonna poke around a little.
Okay.
So I started exploring along the wall, and I found you can get inside the wall. And kind of explore, like, it's not within the castle, but it is like within like the halls of the wall surrounding the castle.
Okay.
So I was exploring in there and I came across some wild enemies. The only reason I was able to beat these because I just had 4 hearts, right? Like I had just started, was because I had a ton of arrows. But I found like horriblins. Have you found those
things
yet?
are
like the monkey
horrible,
things
dude,
with the long sticks.
Yeah, and they make horrible noises and they hang from the ceiling.
Yeah,
like they're there to jump scare you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they suck.
Their weapon is pretty good, dude. It's so durable.
It's
stick? Just a long, hard stick.
Really?
Yeah, and it lasts forever, dude.
Nice.
I attached a boulder to one, and that's what I was using to break rocks forever.
Yeah.
And on another one, I found Lizalfos. I came across those down there.
And you put one of their horns on there?
Yeah, and it was like the best weapon I've used so far.
Yeah. We could talk about the whole like new enemies stuff on another episode. Like, thank you for talking about the Horriblins. But if we start talking about that, we're never going to stop talking about the new horns and all this stuff. We'll talk about that.
Just write down stuff that we didn't cover because there's no way.
Yeah.
You might be able to hear an airplane going
overhead,
so that's thoughtful.
Yep.
I fought black bokoblins.
Yeah.
Have you fought a like?
Yes, dude.
The weird.
Yeah. Those I was actually so excited to see that because likes were in like the original Legend of Zelda.
Oh, really?
And if they attacked you, they would steal your shield. And in this game, if they eat you, like if they attack you and start munching on you, they take your shields.
Oh, that hasn't happened to me yet.
Yeah, they're really annoying in the old game, and in this game, they're pretty annoying. But I was so excited because I was like, what is that? And then I killed it, and I got a little like stone. I was like, it's a like. That's awesome.
That's cool.
I
didn't know they had a history. I assume they did. But,
yeah.
You kill them most of the time too. When you kill them, a chest drops. I found them pretty easy to kill because if you wait, eventually their little
uvula.
The uvula pops out. You hit it, they get all hurt, and they lit tongue out on the floor, and you hit it more and more. Anyway, I fought those. I fought a shock like.
I've never fought one of those.
I was going, dude. It was the only things I've done on this game so far are Sky Island. And then this cave system that I found.
Wow.
I was in there for hours, dude, just going deeper. And it literally took me 30 minutes to climb out.
This is like underneath Hyrule Castle?
Yeah. So like I said, I kept ascending to check where it was. It's not underneath the castle. It's like next to it. So it's like the wall around the chasm that the castle came out of.
Okay, got it.
That's how I got in. And anyway, it just goes forever. There's like things down there that I couldn't beat. Like monsters and stuff. I went to this huge area once, and there was all these rocks piled up. I started breaking them, and there was a giant skeleton under it.
What?
I wrote down what he was called. Stalnock, I think.
Wow.
Stalnock or something.
Oh, Stalnocks. Yeah, so that's just like a skeletal Hennix. Yeah.
But those I didn't have any arrows.
Oh yeah.
So I did not face that guy.
Don't.
This, I mean, it literally took me half an hour just to backtrack my way out of here, and I knew the way. Anyway, I went freaking deep.
Yeah, that's another thing about this game is like for so long, like right as soon as they were like, "Hey, Breath of the Wild 2 is in development," everyone was speculating about what was going to be in Breath of the Wild and what we wanted to be in Breath of the Wild. And one of our biggest, like, how awesome would it be is Breath of the Wild with caves.
Yeah,
and we got it, dude. Caves are now.
Sense, man.
Oh yeah.
It's a whole thing, dude. There's like cave dynamics.
And there's different
new flowers.
Yeah, bright blooms, which are super important.
Yeah.
Like super important.
Yeah.
Which you'll find out why later. But yeah, they are great.
I attached one to an arrow once and shot it, and it just turns into like a whole plant. It's pretty cool.
And it lights up an area.
It lights up
really
the whole area.
Yep.
So this huge rabbit hole, dude. I'm making my way through it. I find all these enemies. I ran out of weapons eventually. I almost ran out of weapons. The problem was there were so many rocks to break, and there were rocks everywhere, but I needed weapons. I kept finding like rusty claymores and stuff.
Yeah.
And that I found, I don't remember which one it is. I think it's the claymore, or it's like the traveler's two-hand sword or something. But if you attach a rock to it and you swing it, it just takes one swing and it just breaks a ton of them.
Yeah.
Really good for that.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm exploring down here. I was like running out of stuff, so I tried attaching amber to a spear. So like I found a lot of amber down here.
Yeah.
Does not break rocks very well, dude.
It's probably really good for like attacking.
Probably.
Yeah.
We should have tried it.
Yeah.
I broke it on the rocks.
Yeah.
So it was cool to just ascend, check where I was at the surface. It started because I was like, no, I'm not going back to Pura right now.
Yeah.
There was literally a moment where I ascended. I was right at the door into like the village where she is. And I was still like, No,
Nope.
not right now. Back down.
Spelunking is just too dang fun.
Dude, it is.
Yeah.
So I follow it. I found the end of this cave system. Dude, I hope that you can't guess what I found there.
I hope I can guess.
Because on the way, by the way, when I was killing likes and stuff, I found the full soldier's armor set.
What?
Soldier's greaves, plate and helm.
Really?
So I have
That's
all
awesome.
that already. And a royal shield that's like the 55 defense.
What?
Yeah.
I would not
one of
use
them,
that
dude.
for a while.
Oh, I won't. But my favorite thing that I found, because this is like my first experience with the game, dude. I'll show you a picture. I'll upload the picture too.
I really hope that I know what this is.
Okay.
Yes,
Is that
dude.
what you thought it was?
No,
Okay.
but I've seen that.
Okay.
I went down there and I found that.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I went down the other way.
Yeah.
Because did you end up going out?
I think so.
Yeah.
So then I went back in.
So there's like a. Did you ever go back up to Pura's area?
Not much, no.
Okay, I don't want to spoil anything.
Let's just, first of all, I found the horn statue.
Yeah, the horn demon statue.
Yeah. And I did not talk to it.
Yeah.
I still only had minimum hearts, minimum stamina, so I was like, I'll be back, buddy. Don't you worry about right now. I was just laughing,
because I went in that same cave system as you. But I didn't go nearly as deep as you did, apparently.
I went deep, dude.
That's awesome.
It was so fun, dude.
Oh, I need to go out and go to that area. What I'll do is when I get home, I'll like go onto my map and like put a treasure chest
where you know it is.
next to where I know it is, so that way I can like know to go back there.
Right. Yeah, and look, dude, there's me wearing all the soldiers.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, you find it all down there.
That's awesome. I thought that you were gonna talk about the frog guy.
Oh, the bubble.
Yeah.
Wow, I wrote it down.
Bubble gems. Bubble crystals?
Somewhere over here. Bubble frogs.
Yeah, bubble frogs.
With 2 U's.
Yeah, which are like kind of like a new Korok? I don't understand what it is.
Yeah.
Because in every cave system, there's one of those. And once you get that, it puts a check mark on that cave system.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I noticed that as I was going through. And so, and they're always in like some secret room. And there are these like, if you played Breath of the Wild, there are these things called bloopies. And they're little rabbits that have like golden, like olive branch leaf horns. And like weird looking faces.
They glow bright blue.
And if you shoot them with a bow, they drop rupees. Well, these guys are like these big frogs
that blow bubbles
at you.
SpongeBob style.
Yep.
Do the bubbles hurt you? No.
No, they just keep you from shooting them because they're like in your way. And so you can shoot him, and then if you attack him, they like kind of like float up in the air and then like pop, and then you get this thing called and then a bloopy comes out of them as well, so you can try and shoot that
real quick.
Yeah. And then this little thing comes out of it. It's called a bubble crystal.
Yeah.
And I love the description of the bubble crystal because it tells you like bubble crystal, blah, 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 blah. And then it says like it's enticing color and blah 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 might make you even want to collect more.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I see what you're doing here.
Something's going on.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to see where that.
Yeah, what you can do with them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I bet it's going to be some like giant bubble frog somewhere in some forest that you give all the crystals to, and he's like, my children are all over the land, and I will give you something in return for their crystals.
Yeah.
But I could be totally wrong. It could also be like some creepy guy under a bridge.
Yeah.
It's like, give me your bubble crystals. And
yeah, and here's some monster parts.
Yep. Like Kilton.
Yep.
So, yeah, dude, anything else you want to talk about?
No, dude, I started laughing when I found the horn statue down there. I was like, of course, this is the
first thing I find.
Dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I've gotten considerably far in the game. And I'm kind of like dead in my tracks right now because I'm on like this side quest thing that's going on, and I'm really enjoying it. Because it's like it's one of those things where like I was on my way to one area and I was like, oh, I'll stop by this area really fast. And then I went down there, and then I was just like looking around, and then I saw this thing, and I started talking to this thing. I'm trying to be really, vague. And it's like, hey, you need to find me somewhere else. And it told me where to go somewhere else. And I was like, okay. And then I found that. And it's like, you need to go back to where I was. And then I went back and talked to that. And then it's like, so I'm just on this wild goose chase. And it's like, you need to find me in this mine somewhere. And I'm like, okay. So then I went down to the mine and it's like, do this. And then I'm just on this huge, like, sprawling thing that was in between where I was actually meant to go. And that's a classic Breath of the Wild thing.
Yeah. Scavenger hunt.
Yeah. Where it's just like one rabbit hole after another rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, I am well pleased with this game. Yeah. Well pleased with my purchase too.
It is. It's me too. I'll say that, dude. Already, me too. So we've gotten over an hour, I think.
Yeah.
Wait, maybe. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, but
there's so much more to talk about.
We will talk about this game again.
We'll talk about it. We're going to be talking about this game for a while.
Yeah.
We'll probably do at least 2 more episodes on it.
Yeah.
In the somewhat near future.
Yeah.
Because it's just a big deal.
And then anytime that we really want to.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest.
What are you guys going to do to stop us?
Yeah.
And by that, we mean Donnie.
Yeah. He's the only one with a chance at stopping us.
Yeah, he can do it.
Yeah.
I have one question for you.
Okay.
And then we'll kind of start ending the episode. What would you say to those who say that this game is just a Breath of the Wild DLC?
You're dead wrong.
Wow.
That's what I would say.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was listening to one of my favorite content creators, and the way that he put it, he was like, anybody that's online saying that this game is like a paid DLC for Breath of the Wild, you're just embarrassing yourself, man. And there was a minute where I kind of felt that way as I was playing through, but the more that I'm playing through it, it's just like a flower and it's just blossoming, and it's like you're like, oh, that's so pretty, it's done now, right? And it's just not. It just keeps going and going and going. This game is so like other than a couple like small background bits of it, it's so vastly different.
Okay.
You know, like other than like shrines.
Yeah.
Shrines are the same. But it's like you have, let's say that there's 120 new shrines. That's 120 completely new shrines. Yeah. That's amazing. That's so much fun ahead of you. An entirely new weapon crafting system, an entirely new way of maneuvering your way around the map.
Yeah.
And I've paid for DLC for Breath of the Wild. I've actually done it, and this is not it.
Doesn't compare.
Not it, Chief.
All right.
That's what I'll say.
I was going to say something that I forgot. So this must be an episode of the Free Game Podcast.
You're like, are we recording an episode of the Free Game Podcast? Because I just forgot something.
So I have I think that's a good note to end on.
Yeah.
I agree. I didn't even pay for Breath of the Wild, so
yeah.
Who am I to say? But we'll be talking more about this game. I love it. Holden loves it. Does Sarah love it?
Yeah, she loves it.
We'll let her tell you herself.
Did you have corrections?
Yeah.
Quick corrections? Okay, let's go through
So the last episode was What's in the Box. That was so much fun.
Yeah.
I posted a picture to social media of the bag when I first got it. It's clear. And there's literally an N64 right on top of it.
Yeah.
What happened was there was a moment in What's in the Box where I come back into the room. Holden's like, okay, Justin told me to start recording. I was carrying the biggest stack of DVDs possible.
It was
all these and all the shows and stuff that we talked about.
Yeah.
When I first opened the bag, we just kind of spread stuff out in the living room, and then I collected it all, but I forgot about those. And then right after Holden left, I walked in there, found the N64, was just sitting there, sent him a picture.
Yeah, and when I was like during the recording, I even asked you, I was like, I thought that you said that there was an N64. And you're like, so no, N64.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. And then you texted me like right after, and it was funny. But yeah.
So I did get that. So even more of a steal.
Yeah.
Anyway, small correction.
All right.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Worth it.
Worth it.
If you have a Switch, get it. I'd say.
If not, would you still?
If not,
you're like, good luck, buddy.
Yeah, you do not want to cross me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, when you see me cross to the other side of the road.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Say that.
Yeah, I could smell it on you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks guys for listening to this episode of the Free Game Podcast. We're really, really grateful that you sticked through for this long. If you could just go down and leave a review, that would be awesome. That super helps us with spreading the podcast to more and more people.
Building a community.
Yeah, just like Link builds a car.
Yep.
All right.
Kibo,
take us out.